This is the psychology of color, and I said earlier that the psychology of color is basically the why we use a particular color in a particular design or a particular logo. So to understand the psychology of color very well, I want you to always imagine yourself as that color. What are you going to be communicating if you are red, if you are orange, if you are purple, if you are blue? What exactly do you think you are going to be communicating? So, and annoyingly, you don't necessarily have to cram all of this. That's the truth. You don't necessarily have to cram it because it's online. You can just search online. Maybe there is a client that gave you a job to design a logo, and they said the color they want is this and this. If you want to argue with them, you can actually go online and search what is their color, what does it represent and all, so that you can argue a very you can give the client a good reason why they should either change their color or why they should settle for a better color, and how you yourself can use their color to the best of your understanding, especially when you know psychology of color. And you will understand that um, when you understand the psychology of color, you will know how to portray a brand personality. You understand? So the first color we have here is red, and all of these are online. You can read it and make sure that you understand this. You understand it. You don't need to cram it. Just make sure you understand the basics. The first thing I understand red to be is energy. So any brand personality that is not giving energy, I mostly or most time don't give red to them. So red is often associated with energy, with passion, and with excitement. It can evoke the feeling of love, the feeling of warmth and intensity, but it can also signify danger, anger, and aggression. So before you use red in a design, just look at why you are using red. What exactly are you trying to communicate? Are you trying to communicate energy? Are you trying to communicate excitement or passion? Or are you trying to communicate love? Because most time Valentine is is associated with red, and that's because red is associated with love. So just make sure that whatever you are designing, yes. And now let me sound a warning. If you are making a design, it doesn't mean that anything you use there actually meant there's a reason why you use. I don't know how to put it, but what I want you to know is that we are talking about the primary color this time. So if the actual color is an accent color, just know that you are not trying to communicate anything. It's just there as a particle or as something this thing. Don't say I used orange as an accent color because orange is giving the feeling. Nobody actually care about an accent color in a design. An accent color is there to beautify, to complement every other, but the primary color is the actual thing we are talking about. When you use the primary color, what exactly are you trying to communicate? Do you understand? So then okay, primary and secondary color anyways. Primary and secondary color, because sometimes secondary color can also be something that is catching attention, something that catches more attention. But accent color, just forget about it. So then blue is associated with calmness, with serenity, and with stability. It can evoke the feeling of trust, and that's why you see most of these banks and other type of this thing, like companies use blue as their logo, especially when they are starting out. They use blue as their logo a lot because it convey the feeling of trust and peace and reliability. So uh, all these healthcare and corporate brands use blue a lot in their identity. So because blue is associated with trust and with reliability. In fact, seeing blue, it calms you down. Seeing red, it's like, come on, it puts you on high alert. Red puts you on high alert, and that's why it's used for danger and all a lot. Then yellow is associated with happiness, optimism, and creativity. It can evoke the feeling of joy, energy, and positivity. Also, it can be associated with caution or cowardice in certain context. So yellow is brighter, and a lot of people see it even faster than the color red, and that is why yellow is used when you are trying to communicate joy, when you are trying to give happiness, optimism, and all, and also when you are trying to give warn someone, when you are trying to warn someone to not go into doing something, you use the yellow color a lot. And warning on gadgets. Warning on gadgets comes most time with yellow. Warning on gadgets comes most time with yellow, while dangers on appliances, maybe an hot surface, comes with red, because if you touch it, that is going to be the end. But for warning, it means if you do this, then something is going to happen. Do you understand? So yellow, we understand where we use yellow, and because it's brighter, uh, I think that's why Lagos Danfo bus, they use it a lot. Anyways, I don't know why Lagos Danfo use yellow. Maybe because of the reckless way the driver drives, and they just have to warn whoever is coming that if you drive anyhow, this yellow bus will slap, it will jam. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be funny. It may not be working. Anyways, so um the next one is green. Green, everybody know green is associated with nature, green is associated with growth. So wherever you see green, your mind calms down. It means green means go. Green means green means good for a lot of people. So in fact, when when you get a result, and green is on it, there's this way you calm down, your body just calm and be like, I think this is a good sign. Green is associated with a good sign. Green is associated with full. So for example, if your battery is full, maybe you charged and your battery is full, most time it comes in green, that okay, you are good to go now. So green is associated with freshness, with and that's why it's used for eco-friendly and healthcare related drugs. Most time comes with green logo, especially with drawing leaves on all those drugs, all those medicine and all. So that's why we use green most time in design. And the next one is orange. Orange, because of its closeness to red and yellow. Orange is associated with warmth, enthusiasm, and vitality. It can evoke the feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, the feeling of encouragement, and also it can evoke aggression. So because orange is associated with um, red and with yellow, most time it carries some of their characteristic. You understand? So then we have purple. Purple is associated with royalty, with luxury, with spirituality, and that's why you see some of these brands that some of these popular brands that are like luxury brand use purple and gold a lot. Any royal brand, you see any royalty brand, you see them purple and gold, because even gold is associated with luxury and with royalty a lot. So purple is associated with royalty, with luxury, and with spirituality. It evokes the feeling of sophistication, creativity, and mastery, but it can also be associated with extravagance or eccentricity. I don't know what that means, but I know that purple is associated with mystery, with creativity, and with luxury. So black, yeah. Now the other time in one of this video, I said, why do we use black most time in as official color? So if I'm going to type something to another country, to an official letter, the letters are mostly black. Why is that so? Because one, black is associated with elegance, with power, for sophistication, that, and black is associated with formality. That is the main reason why we use black for all of this, our all of the what's it called, the formal letters, the documents, books that you see out there. Black, because black is associated with formality, authority, and strength. So, and in some cases, black is associated also with negativity, with mourning, and it does in certain contexts in some places, because in, for example, in Africa, when you start wearing black too much, people just start seeing you as negative energy. And but in some places also, white is associated with mourning and all. So just know where you are. Just know where you are, because in those places where white is associated with mourning, and you go and use white, all white, you are putting on all white, or you are using all white as design, they just look at you and say, come on, be careful. And if you are in Africa or in the Western world and you are using black also, they are going to look at you like, come on, come on, come. This is associated with mourning. Don't use it here. So then we have white. White in most cases is associated with purity, simplicity, and cleanliness, and that's why most documents are typed on white background. It can evoke the feeling of innocence, peace, and clarity. Yeah, peace. Anytime you use white, you see when they want to call for peace, they wave the white flag and all. So it's also perceived as sterile or cold in certain contexts. So, in a nutshell, what I want you guys to understand is, before you use a color, before you, especially for brand identity designer, before you use a particular color, understand why you want to use the color. Don't just jump and use color anyhow in your design. And I think this is going to bring us to the end of colors, color combination, and the psychology of color. I hope, and I just hope that this section has changed your perspective on how to use color, on color combination, and I believe from now on you'll be using color like a professional and start creating some beautiful designs with color. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about another content entirely, that's layout and composition. So I would definitely see you in the next video.